Yo, what's going on, guys? For Nerds a Lot here, and today I'm excited to bring you some new support cards for the FA archetype. FAs I thought were pretty cool. I know a lot of people just know Dawn Dragster, as you see I've got up on the screen, but I really like the archetype as a whole, including the uh, the motorhome transport. I always forget this card's name. I always want to call it something else, but um, just reminds me of the truck from Cars. Honestly, this whole archetype reminds me of Cars. But yeah, so I created some cards. A couple of them, Googled some artwork. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this: I do not claim the artwork in the custom cards that I've created here today. You see, some of them don't have artwork. That's just because I am not an artist. I'm not good at that kind of thing, and I have no interest in learning. But I do like things to look cool and kind of look somewhat complete. So, just disclaiming that art is not original. It's just something I found on Google and put on these cards. So these here in the side deck are all the actual cards from the game. Um, they're all cool. All the main deck monsters have level modulation, and then you've got the field spells do level modulation. The quick play spells do level modulation. You have one tuner that also I believe does level modulation, and even the two synchros do it. But it's hard to actually get to your combos and actually like get what you need. Like if you don't open with Auto Navigator, it's hard to do. So I just tried to create cards that would help you get off the ground, with a variation of different hands that you might see in your opening turn. So let's look through the main deck. So the first card is FA Pit Machine. It is a wind machine monster. It's a tuner. It's level 3. 600 attack, 1600 defense. If a FA spell or trap card or effect is activated, you can increase or decrease this card's level by 1. So that's kind of built into a lot of them, except for they only say you can increase. I gave this the option of increase or decrease because it's a tuner. If you increase it too much, you don't really get a whole lot of value out of it like you would really want. And I went a specific route when I was creating some of the synchro monsters. So you can increase or decrease. If this card's level is lower than its original level, so there you go again, the decrease allowing you to do this. So if that decrease gets negated because it is an activated effect, then you can't use the second effect. But if this card's level is lower than its original level, you can special summon one FA monster from your hand, and that's a hard once per turn. So on a lot of my cards, instead of typing out the hard once per turn, I just write HOPT for hard once per turn. That's what that stands for. If you ever see any of my cards here on Dueling Book and it says EHOPT, that means that each effect is a hard once per turn. Okay, so each hard once per turn is what that stands for. And then I think the only other version of a hard once per turn that I can think of is you can only use one effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. So that would be I'll probably put a 1 in front of HOPT just to do that. So be looking for that. These are available, I believe. I believe I've opened these main deck ones to everyone. So the next card is FA Side Drifter. It's a level 5 wind machine monster. It's not a tuner. 500 attack, 1500 defense. Gains attack equal to its level times 300. So out the gate, if you just normal summon this, it gains, what is that, 1500? So it becomes 2000. So pretty cool. And then if you control an FA monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, then reduce this card's level by 1. You can only special summon one FA Side Drifter once per turn this way. So basically, it's a special summon. This deck does not really have anything. Actually, it literally has nothing except Auto Navigator and Dark Dragster that special summon themselves. And Dark Dragster is a level 7. So I gave it, just something smaller so that we can use for synchro summoning. So if you special summon it like this, it comes out at level 4, which means it's going to have, 1700 attack, which is, it's kind of irrelevant. You're not really attacking over anything. I think actually when I wrote this on my phone, it was actually gets attack times 400, so it would come out level 4 with 2000 attack, but Um, Actually, that's not even right. That would be what, 2100. So either way, the attack doesn't really matter. You just want to be able to have a free special summon, uh, and that's all that is. And then we added an Infernity Barrier. I literally copied the effect of Salamangreat, was it Roar, and then just changed, from Salamangreat to FA, Link Monster to Synchro Monster, and all that stuff. And then so the Infernity Barrier part of it here, the negation, is the same. You have to control a FA Synchro Monster, or you can't use it, and that's all that is. And then this part is different. So while this card is in the graveyard during your main phase 2, so that's a very specific thing. Salamander Roar is not like that. If a FA monster or synchro monster is synchro summoned to your field, you can set this card but banish it face down when it leaves the field. So unlike Salamangreat Roar, it's a little bit more balanced. It has to be during your main phase 2. So after you've attacked and you want to synchro summon again, you can go into one of your other FA synchro monsters, which will trigger this. Then you set it, but once you activate it again or it gets destroyed, it gets banished face down. So you'll never be able to get that back within this archetype. And the point of that is that this is a counter trap. It's hard to counter, for lack of a better term. So you really want to be able to be fair with these kinds of cards. And I feel like this is way balanced. It's directly inferior to Salamangreat Roar, but it does help this deck because your only other negation is this card right here. So that being said, let's move on to our extra deck. So extra deck is very different from the existing ones. Well, not very different. Obviously, it goes with the archetype, but we don't have duplicate effects is my point. So I'm going to start with this one here. Again, artwork does not belong to me. This is FA Turnpike Official. It's a level 5 wind synchro monster. It requires 1 FA tuner plus 1 non-tuner monster. So, tied directly to the archetype, which is why I gave it such a good effect. If this card is synchro summon, you can special summon 1 FA tuner monster from your deck but negate its effects. You can only special summon wind monsters the turn you activate this effect. So it kind of locks you into FAs. If you want to play with these cards and you play like Speedroids with it, you can, because it locks you into wind monsters specifically. Kind of like the the Wind Witch cards. Those do kind of the same thing. So it's just a way to get into bigger monsters. Like you can go into Crystal Wing. So if you special summon a copy of Pit Machine from your deck off of this effect right here, that's already a Crystal Wing right there, I believe. Let's see what Crystal Wing requires, because I think it might actually require a dragon. Nope, non-tuner synchro monster. So this is a non-tuner synchro monster. Boom, that's a Crystal Wing. So you can play Crystal Wing in this deck, which is cool, because that's another negation, right? You got spell and trap negation, and then you have Crystal Wing for monster negation. You're kind of covered your bases there, and then Motorhome is like your steamroller. Next synchro monster, we're gonna go with FA Dawn Speedster. I love this art. The person that created this is very talented. Actually, both cards. I mean, this looks very similar to the Auto Navigator. And Auto Navigator is on another card, but I can't remember which one. But yeah, this is FA Dawn Speedster. It is a level 12 wind machine synchro monster. 400 attack, 2500 defense. And the effect reads, sorry, I was looking for the gains. I was like, I know I didn't leave that out. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, because it's a level 12 and it requires a synchro monster as one of its materials, gave it a little bit of protection. Gains attack equal to its level times 400. So out the gate, it's level 12. So that's going to be, 4,800? Right? Oh, that's wrong. That's supposed to be 300. So that it's 36 plus the 400 gives you 4,000. Basically, I wanted it to come out at 4,000. I will be editing that. Then the last effect is pretty cool. Quick effect. You can reduce this card's level by 2, send 1 card your opponent controls to the graveyard, and then that's a hard once per turn. So it sends, it doesn't destroy. So it definitely deals with problematic cards. Like if this was going up against Thunder Dragons, you could send their Thunder Dragon Colossus and no problem. It really wouldn't be an issue. And yeah, I think it's a pretty fun card. It gives FAs a card that's a little bit more tricky, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a bigger monster than the motorhome, level wise. Obviously a truck is bigger than a car. And then the final extra deck monster we have is FA Extra Booster. So this is a level 5 wind machine. I love level 5s in this archetype for some reason. They don't actually have a level 5. They have the Dawn Dragster as a level 7, and then they have Turbo Booster, I think it's called, as a level 6. So I don't know where I got 5 from, but it works. It requires 1 FA monster plus 1 monster summoned from the extra deck. So the idea behind this card, you might already be able to tell, is Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. That requires a monster in the extra monster zone, but this requires just as long as it was summoned from the extra deck, you can do it. So your field or your opponent's field, as the effect reads. You can also fusion summon this card by tributing the above materials from either field. So there's your Mega Fleet contact fusion there. You can only summon FA Extra Booster once per turn this way. Gains attack equal to its level times 400. So this only comes out at 2000, and you can modulate its level if you want to, because there are spell cards that just do that. The field spells do that also. So you can do that if you want, but it's not necessary. The point of this card is to have removal, and the reason why it's limited to only summon the 1 copy is because you could use this card and another monster your opponent has to summon another one, and just use 3 of them in 1 turn if that's not there. And I don't think that's fair. Even for an archetype that's not very powerful, that would make this archetype way too powerful, because then you're just removing stuff for free. You don't even have to do anything. You normal summon 1 monster, activate no effects, and then just start removing all of their cards for free. So I think it's pretty fair. It requires a monster from the archetype, so you can't just splash it in any deck. But yeah, so let me know what you think about all these cards. Let me know if any of them are broken, if them need to be tweaked. The extra deck monsters, I knew that I wanted to probably edit them some more, so they are not available on Dueling Book. However, the main deck cards are available to everyone. So if you go into, let's see if we actually did it. You go here, do FA. Well, that's going to show mine, but if you go to all custom cards, sorry. Yes, well, this is actually here. A few of them. Yeah, there's extra boosters. So I may have actually put everything out there. So if you want to use these cards, go ahead. Yeah, there's Pit Machine, there's Side Drifter. It's like I know which ones are my cards because they don't have art, but that's just, and then there's Slipstream. So all these cards are available for you to use on Dueling Book if you want to go play around with it. I am going to edit this one right after posting this video, so wait on that. That needs to say times 300 for the attack boost. But thank you guys again for watching. Please stay tuned to see what other cards I make videos of. I've been making some Raid Raptor support, some Blackwing support, some crossover between the two, and I am going to be working on a ritual archetype, which I think is like the most unused mechanic of the game, to be completely honest, even though Netcross came back. And I would love to see like a ritual deck that could be meta come out. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I do post like hints. I did post an artless version of this card with a different name on my Instagram to kind of preview and keep you ahead of the game and know what's coming up. So make sure that you're following me, and make sure that you got notifications turned on for my YouTube channel so you know when these videos come out. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time.